Hey everybody, this is Chauncey Hutter Jr. and I'm with Real Tax Business Success. I am in my basement. Have grown a beard the last couple of months. Some of y'all haven't seen it about a year. And so this is like, who is this crazy guy down in the basement? It's April Fool's Day. Who knows what will happen on April Fool's Day? It's so funny that we are talking about crypto on April Fool's Day. I love it because I can't tell you how many people just think crypto's nuts, and I just keep my mouth shut and I just snicker to myself. I am not in the business of helping overcome skeptics' fears. I will let them jump on that train down the road when they won't have a choice. But for now, and I just wanted to thank the people that are actually taking the time. I mean, it is tax season. I know you got other stuff going on, and I promise you that this is what we're talking about is worth it. Sometimes you actually have to stop, close the door, turn off the phone, turn down all the distractions. And when something is a lot of times doesn't scream at you, sometimes it'll just whisper at you that this is really important. This is one of those times. And so I'm glad we get to do this on April 1st. And I'm sorry it's the middle of tax season, but as you'll hear about later, there's just too much happening right now for me to wait till after April 15th to get into some of the stuff. So we're gonna share this stuff now, and then it's pretty timely because I'm gonna make you a I'm gonna tell you about, and about something I'm hosting at the end of this call that I want you to participate in. It's gonna happen after tax season, and I'm gonna talk to you about that in a second. But here's my little intro. I want you to be honest. I want you to be honest. I mean, it is early April tax season. Are you exhausted? Like, are you tired of it? Are you just doing it, just plowing through? Are you frustrated with all the people's mistakes you got to put up with, and all the stuff all the stuff you got to do just to make things churn out correctly? This is a big frustration time. Are you excited about spending a bunch more hours all night, the rest of this week, next couple of weeks, just deadline pressure? Is that exciting to you? Now, some of y'all, I get it, the thrill and you get the adrenaline and everything. But I'm worried about some of y'all's health. I've had some health issues last couple of years. I've talked to many of my clients who have run up against some things that tax season just ain't helpful for people and their health. And, there's other ways to do this thing. Okay. There's other ways to make a living. And I'm not saying you get out of the tax business, but I'm saying you got to consider that there's some other options out there that you can do, especially at this point when something is huge, is what I'm going to be talking about, is staring you right in the face. Look, I know you like to do taxes. I know you like to solve problems. I know that's why you got in this business. Just for a second though, what if I just enabled you to only work with 20% of your clients instead of all 100% of them? What if you could carve out 20% of the ones that you actually like spending time with? The people that you actually get along with, fun to do their taxes, you've got good relationship with them, and you could carve out the other 80%, but you only worked on people that you enjoyed working with and about 20% of your list. What if your tax practice was like a hobby? What if it was a professional hobby and, you worked on it when you felt like it? And I mean, that'd be cool, right? Would you be, obviously you're thinking in the back of your mind, well, I got to do the other 80%. I got to have the other, I mean, there has to be some money flow here. There has to be some income here. Well, we're going to deal with that. I say all that as a context to what I consider maybe one of the most important parts of business that actually doesn't get talked about enough. It's called timing, business timing. You actually can get into business. You actually can provide products and services. You actually can help clients in an industry that is dead, flat, not much happening, or be in an industry that is on fire. There's a big, huge wave and you're riding it. Same amount of time, same amount of effort, but results, two different worlds. I would say the whole riding the wave thing in an industry is more important than about most anything. I mean, and I can give you an example. Back when I started in the tax business, back in 1990, we had a couple hundred clients. My dad's business was a couple hundred clients. We grew to over 30,000 clients, about 10 years, 12 years. That's a big jump. I didn't know how big of a deal this was at the time, but we were riding the electronic filing wave when e-filing first started in the late 80s, and it got real popular, 89, 90, 91. And then all that whole decade was growing like crazy. And so yes, we had some good marketing. Yes, we're able to do some things that were helping get more customers to our offices. But honestly, if I had to really be straight up about it, what was more important, me and running a marketing campaign, or me actually in and happened to be riding a wave of growth of a particular industry that was on fire? And honestly, that was better. How do I know? Because there was a bunch of very poor marketers and very bad business people that were in the tax world that were doing great. They were doing fine. And they were riding the wave too. And so, so this riding the wave thing is a big deal. And also when you're not riding a wave, when you are in an industry that's flat, i.e. the tax industry, last 15 years, it's been up 2%, down 2%, up and down. I mean, for a decade, 15 years, whatever, it is not growing as like what I'm talking about. Back in the 90s, it was growing, not like that, not now. Let me just give you another riding the wave example. And all this is context for where I'm going to. So stick with me here. Like, let's talk about COVID just for a second. Let's talk about from a business perspective, the lockdowns. If your business was positioned properly for a lockdown, nobody knew it was coming, you had a massive, some of businesses had this massive wave that they rode, and they've ridden it and they have done extremely well. The obvious examples we're on right now, Zoom. Zoom was, I don't remember the actual, I knew him 2 years ago. I knew him a year ago. I don't remember the exact numbers, but Zoom and their company just made so much money in that first year or two. And other similar services, food delivery services, huge. I mean, if you're positioned to deliver food and everybody's locked down, I mean, they went from boom to boom. Amazon, same type of thing. Everybody's buying stuff and having it shipped. They obviously are big. They've had they had banner years. These are examples of being positioned in an industry or in industries where it just skyrockets. Fun story. I don't know if you heard about the guy. I don't remember the guy's name of the company, but it was one of those guys that was in the manufacturing business and manufactured those little clear tubes that held like vaccines or whatever, and almost overnight they quadrupled all their ability to manufacture it and expanded worldwide. And all he did was manufacture these little tubes for vaccines. The dude became a billionaire in less than a year. That dude was positioned well. Um, so I'm saying all that because we got to look around. We got to look around right now, today, in our world, of what's happening, what's going on. Um, I It's my contention that what's going on right now is extremely relevant to what I'm going to be talking about related to the crypto industry. It's a great backdrop, great context. Let's talk about just real briefly inflation just for a second. Inflation, we all have heard the buzzword. A lot of people honestly really don't understand inflation. I mean, just honestly, and deflation and how money works and whatever. But they do know when they go to buy stuff and it's expensive, and they're like, "Why is my gas more expensive? Why is this food more expensive? Why are these cars more? Why are these houses? Why all these things more expensive?" And I only got a 8% raise last year. I thought I was excited about 8%, but 8%, inflation probably is 2-3 times that, maybe 4 times that, and depending on what you buy. Inflation is a big topic right now, and I'm not going to get political on you. I'm just saying it is what it is. When the government spends tons and tons of money, whether it's Trump, whether it's Biden, whether whoever started printing that money, and during COVID, and all those roosters are come back here, until we got to deal with it. We have money that is not worth as much, period. It is what it is. So with that backdrop, where if you're printing about tons and tons and tons of money, where you're not printing it, you're just adding zeros on a computer, but you're having tons and tons of money and it's going to be worth less, obviously. That's one section of where we are right now. And let's just not talk about the world. Let's just talk about the US here for a second. Government overreach is another one. There's a ton of government overreach, and there's a ton of people digging into our work. Like a couple of years ago, pre-COVID, I heard somebody say BC, before COVID, before 2 years ago, yes, the government was in stuff, but really the last couple of years, it has completely skyrocketed. And I'm frustrated about it. I'm sure there's a lot of other people frustrated about it, but what do you do about it? I mean, what do you do about if you live in a world that has high inflation? What do you do if you're living in a state or a local municipality or even our nation or whatever, that the government is consistently overreaching and doing all kinds of things that, in my opinion, aren't the best for society? What are we supposed to do about it? Just sit and whine and complain? What about the war? There's Russia attacking Ukraine, and it's having an impact on the United States. And we could go through all the pros and cons of what's good, what's bad, what's not working, but it's having an impact on us. There's an impact on all of us. As a business owner, you have to be doubly, you got to look out for you in your own situation, but you also got customers and clients who are asking you, and they're wanting more information on what to do and how they need to do it. And so it's a double whammy for you. I personally can say, I'm not going to be the complaint. I mean, I'm not going to be the whiner. I'm just speaking for me. I'm not going to be the person who complains about the high prices, complains about the supply chain issues, people stealing my money. I'm not going to complain. My mind goes to, what am I going to do about it? How am I going to deal with this? I don't want to just sit around and be a victim. I'm not interested in being a victim. And so that leads us to where we are now, which is, I think I just thank God that we are on this planet at this time in history, honestly. That the technologies in the crypto industry, in the crypto world, have blossomed enough and are at a certain point and are going to be improving and getting even better, that are going, they are going to, these technologies are going to solve so many of these problems, which I promise not to get into any of the weeds in this stuff. I cannot do. Crypto is a huge, huge, huge topic, and I'm not going to get in the weeds and do a bunch of questions and on stuff, and that'll be for another day. I'm trying to stay out of the weeds and just talk about, you know, you've heard about hockey sticks where things just start skyrocketing. The crypto industry, you know, has been around about 13, 14 years, and it is doing this right now. Crypto is the fastest adoption of any new technology in the history of man. Like and if you remember in the 90s and with the internet, do you remember like how fast everybody was getting online and how fast people were using the website, you know, just this thing called the internet. Well, crypto is growing twice as fast as far as of adoption, twice as big. It's the most powerful network of money flow ever seen on the earth. When you start looking about all over the world, it's right now already, it's a little bitty baby industry, and it's got $2 trillion industry. So it seems little because it's so massively about to grow, but 2 trillion is not little. And so it's going to be $200 trillion by the end of this decade in 2030. That's a conservative estimate. I think it's gonna be more than that. The people, that number of people that are going to be taking advantage of this is huge, but mainly because if you are in an industry and it is growing at that rate, you don't have to be good. You just have to be there. Same with those tax business owners that I knew that were just not very good business owners or terrible marketers back in the 90s. They happened to be in an industry that was growing, and that was a little bitty old electronic filing. We're talking about money, the transfer of finances across the earth, and the amount of money it is so huge. And you know, as my friend once told me, hey, when it's raining outside and you walk outside in the rain, you're going to get wet. Same thing applies to if you're in the crypto, if you know how to be in the crypto industry and know what to do and how to be a part of it in just basic ways, without hurting anybody, hurting yourself or anything, you are going to get what you're going to get. It's going to be raining and you're going to benefit. And so the math, if you looked at the math of crypto on the blockchains, that tracks all this, all like you can look at it and see, there's going to be more billionaires on the planet at the end of this year than there are billionaires right now on the planet. This is new crypto billionaires by the end of this year will outnumber the current number of billionaires that are just regular fiat money. That ought to blow your brain. I mean, that ought to be like, what? Are you kidding me? Yes, it's wild, isn't it? So here's the problem. The problem is the crypto industry, people have heard of it, but they don't know what to do with it. It's just way too much information. It's overwhelming. It's like you are drinking from a fire hose. I mean, people just don't know where to start. Don't know where to go, and don't know what to do. Not sure of what crypto technologies to be involved in. Don't know what's good, what's bad. They don't want to get scammed. You know, you hear about people getting scammed and stuff happening. So that's a problem. Like, where do I go? What do I do about this? My crypto story, it's funny. It actually started at one of my boot camps in Dallas, Texas, back in 2017. In Dallas, second day, we're offering my coaching program, $18,000. First guy that comes to the back of the room, plops down his credit card, says, I'm signing up, no problem. And I'm like, great. And he goes, I just made $50,000 with Bitcoin. And I looked at him, I said, what's Bitcoin? And that was my first introduction to crypto. Bitcoin happens to be the first coin that there's 17,000 other coins, but it's the first one. It was the first one back in 2009. And so I'm like, I got to talk to you about that. So we started having conversations the following week once I got home from the boot camp. I also came in just a few weeks later and for Thanksgiving break, and my son comes home from college and he is showing me where he's buying and selling and trading all different types of crypto coins. And I'm like, what? Like all this, there's this whole world that's happening. I don't know about it. And that was 5 years ago. So I decided to go down the rabbit trail. And I honestly can tell you, my wife can be a testament to this. For the first 3 months, I just was like, it was so frustrating. Like I just come home from work, get in bed at night, wake up in the morning. I'm just like, I don't understand what they're talking about. Like, I don't get it. No one was able to show me just basic roadmap, like some guardrails, what to connect dots. I didn't understand anything. And so after those 3 months, I mean, things started to get a little bit better, but it really, over the next 2 or 3 years, I started understanding certain things, but I found out later some stuff that I understand was baloney, and other stuff that I did on some other stuff I didn't really understand at all. Actually, that was the important stuff. No one was giving me any insight, and everybody's got an opinion online. Let me tell you, there's only about 1,000, 10,000, thousands and thousands of people talking about crypto online. So anyway, I was just doing my best. All right. Couple of first 2 or 3 years. And then COVID happens, COVID time for a couple of years, last couple of years, it slowed things down. I had less going on. I decided to be more purposeful about how to, I went more extended deep dives into certain topics for days and days and weeks to understand what they're talking about. I was able to connect some dots, and I was able to talk to some people. I got started investing. I started actually putting my money. I invested before that, but I actually started putting more money, like a lot more money now. Now that I started understanding some things. So before, first couple, 2 or 3 years, I was investing small numbers. The last couple of years, I put it in a lot more money. And this process has been extremely helpful, because it's taken a long time. It's taken forever. I mean, 5 years seems like a long time, but it's good time, because I was able to learn a bunch, but I also understand about the ebbs and flows and the waves that kind of happen within the industry. And so the timing was good. The timing was okay. What made me better, and going back to, let me go back and tell you a quick story about when I was in the tax business in the 90s, when we owned our tax bracket, my dad's business. When I decided to actually start to teach other tax businesses how to get better at the tax business, we'd made $1 million, and we're making multiple millions of dollars. We were growing. And as soon as I decided I'm going to hang out my shingle and coach and consult and teach other tax pros how to do this, over the next 5 years, our profit, like, we made more money over the next 5 years. And I attribute it to me learning and getting better by teaching others how to do what I was doing. Well, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing right now. I'm going to, just like I did in the tax business years ago, I'm going to, we had success, and I started teaching other people how to do it. And we just tremendous growth over the next 4 or 5 years after that. Our most profitable years of our whole tax business right then. I want to do that for crypto. I want to do that for tax professionals. And crypto is such a perfect complement to a tax business owner. It's amazing. Let me tell you the common mistakes related to crypto that I see. People think crypto is a scam, and that keeps people out. And yeah, are there scammers in the crypto industry? Of course, it's so big. Anytime there's money flow, but it's really easy to stay away from scammers. You just have to know what to do and what not to do. Misunderstanding crypto, that it's too volatile. Crypto is up and down, and it goes up really fast and comes down really fast. But when you're talking about certain coins do that and other coins don't, I mean, it's hard to be just in a new and up and a growing industry. Of course, it's going to be volatile, but there's 17,000 coins. I mean, it's a very broad statement to say. You want the volatility when it's going up, right? So you want something, not like the stock market when something goes up 1% or 2%, you're like, whatever. You know, the crypto world is it goes up, and you want to be a part of things that are going up like that, and you want it to be volatile going north. Some people believe crypto doesn't have any value. I mean, people have been using, I mean, that crypto, Bitcoin, name your coin, doesn't have, there's some crypto coins that are valueless. Absolutely. They're terrible. But there's things like Bitcoin and others that are just, they've been around, and they're decentralized, and they're proven themselves over 12, 13 years, 14 years. And so they are totally valuable. I mean, and I'm not going to get into the weeds of why that is, but you have countries that are investing, or that are making Bitcoin their currency. That you have massive privately held companies, you have insurance companies, you have some of the biggest, wealthiest billionaires in the world that don't have to do it, but they see the benefit of doing it. So that the value thing was maybe an argument for 10 years ago. It's not now. Thinking crypto is mainly used for criminals. I mean, there's more money in the Mexican cartel in cash. Criminals don't want to be in crypto because of the blockchain, and because it tracks and it shows exactly who's doing what's happening and authenticates everything. So they want to be in cash, and the number that is used by purposes with maybe a criminal or something is like 0.01% of all of the crypto world. It's just such a small number compared to what the regular cash. Criminals much rather use cash. Some people say that lack of regulation for crypto is too risky. There's more regulation that's happening every single year, and it's getting more and more. And so I don't like regulation, but you got to have it in order for an industry to get big. And so that's coming on pretty strong right now. Even the president just talked about that just a few weeks ago. People are afraid of security threats that crypto poses. Actually, the exact opposite should be true. If you know what you're doing with crypto, security is a good thing. Like, crypto is extremely secure. It's just when you don't do certain basic things, like there's just some ABCs, 1, 2, 3s of crypto that you can be easily taught, and there are no threats. The threat is you doing something stupid, but the actual crypto and how it's set up is not the problem. Some people say they're not interested in crypto, they just prefer dollars. The dollar is going down so fast. I mean, it's weakening every day, and inflation, and it's just a matter of time. And we are going to be, again, I'm trying not to go into the weeds, but we are going to be digital currency within a few years, whether you like it or not. So we are going this direction. It's best for you to understand what we're about to do, and the hugely negative things you do not want to be involved in related to, I'm just going to say, the government and the other things you can do with decentralized things that keeps you clean away from problems. And we were definitely going to be talking about that down the road for sure. Some people are just overwhelmed because the crypto industry is too big. Of course, it's too big. It's too big for everybody. Okay, but you just take it. You once you understand the broad strokes, you can niche down and decide what you want to do. And the people that do nothing, the people that just say, well, it's tough. I don't know. I was talking to a business guy literally a couple days ago, and we were talking about, he asked me what I was doing, and he's like, I know nothing about crypto. I'm like, so what? Just because you know nothing doesn't mean you don't start. And if it's a big deal, just because you know zero doesn't mean you don't do it. I mean, so his idea was, I just don't know anything, so I'm not even going to start. Well, that's a bad idea. All right, everybody's gonna have to start doing something. Here, some of the biggest benefits to crypto, in my opinion, you can be a crypto newbie and still build a ton of wealth with hardly any risk. And that's showing you some of the basics. I mean, what is available right now. It is amazing. You don't have to know squat. Like, you don't know how. Like, I don't know how this Zoom technology works. I don't know how an email works. I don't know how to, but I can send an email. I can type in and push send. I mean, you can get some crypto and don't know how it works and do very, very well. I mean, so being a newbie is not a problem. Letting digital technologies make you rich with little work on your end. So we are also accustomed to, quote, doing the work and providing the service to get paid. Well, what if you had this asset or assets just constantly making money for you on the side that just probably is going to make more money for you than your tax business for sure. And you don't have to do anything except for just look in and check it out every now and then. I mean, that's a nice benefit. Helping you sleep at night, knowing that you have some hope for the future when people are talking about inflation, when people are talking about war, and all these, lack of stuff on the shelves to buy. I mean, people take governments like Canada, taking the freezing bank accounts and taking people's stuff, taking money, and a lot of very nefarious things are happening with countries and businesses and things right now. But what if you could protect yourself and you didn't have to worry about that stuff? I mean, that definitely help you sleep at night. Leveraging this is another benefit, leveraging these new assets and adding another money flow of revenue source, actually having something that is growing, and actually you can play bank, you be your own bank and actually get money from that investment as well as it grows. That, I mean, it's just, it is amazing what is out there, not down the road, is right now, like happening right now. And never have to worry about people in authority taking your stuff like that. That's a big one. Like the way crypto works, and there's certain things that you can do that. I mean, there's fun stories hearing about people in these other countries that are getting attacked, and Russia is going into Ukraine, and people getting out, and they are coming out with the shirt on their back in crypto, and they have a whole new life because they have $40,000-$50,000 in crypto that they are able to live and have. They couldn't take a stash of money with them. They couldn't take gold bars. They couldn't, but they could take crypto very easily. So there's a lot of things about the crypto technologies that are amazing, and I really want to show my clients and the people that are in my real tax world what this is all about. And look, you can go on your own your journey. You can do this for months and years. I mean, there's literally 10,000 YouTubers and podcasts on all things crypto all over the place. You can go do that. It's going to take you a long time, and it's going to be very frustrating. I mean, I've been there, done that. Or you could allow me to shortcut that process and actually let me help you out to save you some time, to reduce your frustration, to save you money, protect you from scammers for sure, and actually provide you a quick start into a race that's actually already started. Like, you can't wait a month or 2 months or 6 months or a year. You want to get involved and get started. You're on this process and know where to go first, second, third sooner rather than later. So here's what I'm doing. I'm hosting a very small crypto workshop. It's for 10 tax business owners. Closed doors, 2 days. It's May 5 and 6 after tax season. It's in Charlottesville, Virginia. It's by application only. I'm going to show tax business owners the strategy on how to move forward in the crypto industry and position yourself so you'll benefit for this huge transfer of wealth that's happening. And I want my clients to take advantage of it. Here's what we're going to cover. I'm going to give you the broad stroke. You got to have the lay of the land. You have to. We got to start there and get some context. We are then going to drill down into specific topics and niche. So there's going to be certain areas in crypto. Crypto's too big to know it all. So we're going to narrow down and drill down to some specifics. Some of the categories, one's going to be is Bitcoin will be its own category all by itself. That's when everybody knows it's kind of the first one and it's kind of the brand name. Altcoins, Ethereum is the big one, but there's 17,000 other altcoins. That's going to be its own bucket. We'll talk about smart contract technologies will be how do we get involved in using those in crypto, DeFi or decentralized finance. I mean, you could spend a month on DeFi. I mean, it's a huge topic, but we're going to kind of cherry pick out the best things that you need to know about it and how you can take advantage of participating with it. We're going to talk about NFTs, non-fungible tokens. I don't know if you know anything about NFTs, but our whole world, a number of years down the road, and not very far away, everything is going to be NFTs. I mean, and you got to understand, you're going to own stuff, not Facebook and YouTube and other people, Amazon. You're going to own it, and you're going to have your own NFT. It's a whole talk. It's a huge deal, especially for business owners, especially for people who own a business, who have clients. You have services. There's business services. You can bundle them with these things, and it's just changes the game forever. We got to go there and talk about it. Decentralized anonymous organizations, those are DAOs, DAOs, decentralized anonymous organizations. I just, sometimes my brains fall out of my brain, fall on the ground, listening to what people are doing with these things. I'm just like, I can't, this is like, it's so amazing what you're able to do in a world where all this chaos is going on, but you can get away from all this chaos and be a part of some of these crypto technologies and just get out of the way of all this junk and grow and prosper and be wealthy. And lastly, we're going to talk about the metaverse, Web 3.0 and everything that goes there. That topic takes a year to go through. I mean, it's so huge, but again, we can't cover all these topics. We're going to broadly discuss them. We're going to bite-sized chunk out the best stuff, and then we're going to apply what is best for you to know on how to go forward and use these things that's for you and your business. My job in this workshop is to take all this material and whittle it down into just the best stuff just for 2 days. And it's just it'll turn your world upside down. Now, this crypto workshop is just $9,950. And so the first 10 tax pros who actually sign up will actually get a bonus, which actually covers the fee. Actually, you're going to get one of my personal crypto coins that's actually worth over $10,000 just for signing up and being one of the first 10. Actually, we already have 5 that have already signed up and sent in their money. So we have 5 spots left. I also have a risk-free guarantee, meaning this thing, like if you think I'm full of hot air and full of beans, I'll give you all your money back. You can come for the whole first day. You can come for the half of the second day up till lunch. At the lunch break, you just say, Chauncey, it's not for me. Whatever, doesn't matter your reason, don't like it. Just let me know and I'll give you a full refund the next business day, and we'll all be friends. But if you're sticking around till the afternoon of the second day, that's when we're going to download this coin into your wallet. We're going to show you how to do. We're going to do it with you, so you don't have to worry about going home and trying to do it. We're going to do it right there on the spot in the room. So you're going to leave this workshop with a crypto coin that's valued more than $10,000 what you paid. We are, I think I've already said this, but we're accepting applications to do this. Like, you just can't send in your money. You actually have to apply. Bailey, this would be the time for you to stick in the link into the chat, wherever that is. And just for people, if you're interested in applying to be in the room, Bailey, I'm not looking at the chat. Did you stick it in there already?
Yes, I just put it in there.
All right. So here's how the application works. Fill out the application. It's $50. So it's refundable. It's like if we have a conversation, Bailey said, Nate says he doesn't see the link. So thank you for saying that. Maybe put it in there again. So it's $50 to put in this application, and it's refundable. Like we're going to have a 15-minute conversation about what you say on your application. And if you don't think this is for you or whatever, we just refund you $50 back. I mean, I don't want your $50. I just want it to be easy, refundable. Put your application in, and then when you fill out your application, there'll be a quick little place to sign up for a 15-minute phone call with me. Pick out one of those time slots. I think the only ones we have left are Monday, Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. I don't know, but pick the time, and then and that's going to be it. We will finish up putting people in the room, and then you guys are going to finish out tax season, and then I'm going to start sending people a little bit of homework to do after tax season before May 5 and 6. I get the question already, and I'm gonna go ahead and answer it now. Can you do this virtually? I don't want to do this virtually. I want to do this with 10 people in a closed door room. Now, there are exceptions. I've made one exception so far for a virtual person, and I'm going to do something special for them. If during our conversation, during the application, when you fill out the application and we're talking, if for some reason you need to do this virtually, it's the same price. It's the same $9,950, but we'll talk about that. But I really just wanted to talk to people that can come to Charlottesville, Virginia on May 5 and 6. I've already got the hotel set up. It's right. We're going to be in the Code building. It's this new entrepreneur building. It's going to be really sweet. And the hotel's next door. It's about a block from my office. And it's going to be awesome. And so I would like to answer your questions. Can you tell me if the link is correct in there, Bailey? I see people talking about the link.
Yes, I put the wrong link at first. Now it's the right one.
All right, now you got the right link.
Sorry.
So I would like to answer your questions during our time together over the phone. And if you have some additional things that you want, once you've submitted your application and you want to try to get some questions answered, or you had something burning that you want to ask before we talk on the phone, you can always email me as well. That email is ch@taxmarketing.com. That's the normal email that comes to me, ch@taxmarketing.com. That's all I have for now. I hope you guys are excited about this topic. I am giddy. I get to actually teach this. Like I get goosebumps putting this stuff together as I'm doing it. I'm so excited to put this stuff together. It gives me an excuse to do it. And I'm really jacked up by it. And I hope you will participate. and look forward to talking to the handful of you that are going to be in the room. And happy April Fool's Day, everybody. This is no joke, though. This is real. This is no joke. Looking forward to talking to you. And we'll catch up over the phone after I look at your application on the weekend. I'll catch up with you on the phone early next week. Thanks a lot, everybody. Talk to you soon.